Alright, so now that we're under here, we have to get off the bolts for the protective pan on the transmission pan. So we're going to drain that out. We need to get that off first. Looks like those are probably like 17s. Take those off and yeah, take it one step at a time. Hey, look at that, 17 row. I'm sure I'll find other crap from other people too. Sorts of junk. Hey, there's that nut I was looking for. That goes to the ground. I had to improvise. Put a new bolt on for that. Well, that's not really impressive. Obviously, another 5mm. That's right. There she goes. That's special. When I bought it, it had 114,000 miles on it, and the odometer didn't work. And I'm willing to bet the chick that owned this said that she'd parked it right as the odometer stopped working. And I would be willing to bet that Maury would determine that that is a lie. I'm sure this car has probably upwards of at least 140,000 miles, if I had to guess. I mean, look. Look at all of that. But it feels really cool because of the magnets. But I will say, in its defense, it shifts really nice, minus what we're chasing after, which is the sluggish third to fourth shift. Other than that, it's nice and crisp. So we'll change this fluid, clean this up, and see where we end up. Let's drain the trans fluid into the container. We got just 3/4 of a gallon there. It's not bad. So now I know people are going to have a seizure. They're going to get all upset. But Valvoline MaxLife is actually covered as far as being spec for this. The stuff for the VW is stupid expensive by comparison, and for what I'm chasing here and trying to get to accomplish, I'm not going to dump $70 worth of fluid into a transmission that may end up being junk in the end. So we're going to try this. I've had great luck with this. It has taken care of a shutter in the torque converter on my wife's Transit. It has smoothed out the shifts on my 180,000 mile Saturn, which is actually closer to 200. 180 is just what's on the cluster. This stuff has been great. So I checked out the spec sheet. It does cross-reference. It works. We're going to go for it. It's surprising that the color is actually not as bad as I thought it would be. There we go. So got that little seal out. Oh boy, that's a hard seal. You can tell that's not that's original. So it'll be good to replace that. I would say it's definitely due. So that had to happen. Okay, so I put the filter up here. It just goes up and snaps in. So now we just have to finish figuring out what we're going to do with the pan, and then we'll be able to put that back up and tighten it down, and then we'll just have to fill it with fluid. Yeah, easy, easy, right? Alright, so we got the pan all cleaned up. Magnet's nice and clean now. The fluid that came out of the transmission itself from the pan that was just left over. We'll dump what was in the holding tray in there a second. But this is solid. But we've got some cleanup to do. I gotta do something about that. I can't leave it like that. So next we'll get that all cleaned up and see if we can't make that look a little bit better. To make sure we put the little red guy back in there. Just slips down inside. Alright, lo and behold, a little bit of luck. That one washer that went on here was just junk. So, thankfully, I hold on to stuff. And I found a brand new little copper crush gasket. Fits perfectly in our pan. Alright, so we're trying a little bit of rust inhibitor. Grabbed a little bit of this Loctite Extend Rust Neutralizer. So we're sprayed a little bit of that on. We're going to let that dry, and then we're going to paint it. So hopefully it gives us a little bit more protection. Alright, so here we are back working on the Beetle. Progress that we made previously. Got our transmission pan cleaned up. Everything cleaned out of it. I did kind of test fit the gasket on here. Painted the rusted up pan with a little bit of rubberized coating. So transmission pan's not getting anybody pregnant now. But I think we're good to go. We're going to put our pan up. And alright, so we're going to put our pan up. And we're going to put in the bolts. We're going to tighten everything down to 108 inch-pounds, because that's what it calls for the manual. We're just going to gently put this back up. We've got our pan back on. We have to put our protective shield back on still. We haven't done that. But up here is our drain fill plug. You can kind of see it right there with the red cap. So we have to take that off and then feed a tube to get the fluid up in there. So
go slow, because otherwise you could. So, until at least 1 to the gears. We'll finish the ball, so it's a good sign, might be.
Alright, so we've got that transmission fluid drained and filled. I think that we're in good shape, and it went through all the gears, reverse, neutral, drive, 1, 2, 3, and the wheels did what they were supposed to. Of course, they're not on the car, so I can't really take it out on the road and see if it fixed that 3 to 4 shift. But we're going to move on, do the struts next, and rear shocks, and then go from there. So as soon as I can get it out on the road, I will give an update and let you know whether or not it's fixed. Thanks for watching.